Now is House member Scott Rigell. He's a Republican from Virginia. Scott, you put together your own plan, but I just want to get, before we get into details, in your plan you have reopened the government. All right, and that was almost a revolutionary thought when you put this thing out a couple of days ago. For the life of me, I don't understand how shutting down the government would be on a separate track with the debt ceiling. I never understood that. Will the GOP now stay on both tracks?
Larry, I'm a businessman in a season of public service, and I said that we ought to open the government not a couple of days ago. I said it on October the 1st. I sent out a tweet at 9:30 a.m. because I assessed where this is going to take us, this strategy that we've been following. And I told my staff and everyone who would listen, I said, look, this thing gets worse, not better. It's going to put us in a putrid environment, and that's where we found ourselves. Your assessment of where we are and how we got here is accurate. What we really need to do, of course, is swing that radar out farther, do what's right for the next generation of Americans, and deal with mandatory spending. And that's what my America First plan does. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
All right. First of all, you also want to extend the debt, which I think is important. Everybody's on board with that. Let me ask you about some more controversial things. You want to repeal the medical device tax. I think that's great. You do, however, put in a plug of $100 billion in new revenues.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, what are you referring to on that?
Well, principally, it's limiting deductions for high-income wage earners, those that are making $1 million or more. Look, Larry, here's the reality. Republicans we voted for some spending that we're not yet willing to basically get the tax revenue to pay for it. That's the fact. And our Democratic friends are no better. In fact, I think they're really driving this by not responsibly addressing the spending side. Anytime we try to touch mandatory spending, you know, they go apoplectic on us. So what I've said here reflects two realities. It reflects financial reality, and it reflects political reality.
But I would say this. I would suggest this. Look, I'm a Ronald Reagan, Jack Kemp, Paul Ryan supply sider. I've been around longer than Paul Ryan, but he's on the right track. Why not just go for full-fledged tax reform? Now, I know there's a fist fight with the Democrats, but the problem I see is you want to raise revenues by putting those deductions in on the upper-end people. That's what the Democrats want to do to the fifth power, and we've already had 2 major tax hikes this year alone.
All right, Larry, let me respond to that. Okay, this is my first elected office. I went right from running my own business, entrepreneur, to coming here. I've been here 34 months. And this idea of, you know, comprehensive tax reform, I fully support it. But it's elusive. It's all the way around the corner every time we try to deal with it. What I've presented here with the America First plan is a practical incremental step. I'm not saying it'll fix America, but I am saying I want to show that this institution, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, can come together and deal with at least some level of mandatory spending. Start to get a hold of this, Larry, because if we don't, you talk about it all the time on your show, it truly does threaten the foundation of our republic.
Listen, I'm with you on that. I'm also with you, by the way, in getting rid of the deductions, but where we disagree is I want to lower the marginal tax rates on the other side. This is for individuals and corporations. I think that's a better pro-growth way to go. You know, one of the things I want the GOP to do, Scott, and I appreciate you coming on the show, I want growth. I want growth policies. I want people to talk growth, not austerity, not debt ceilings, not shutting down the government. I want growth.
Absolutely. And look, energy is the principal way to do that. We can create 18,000 jobs right there off the coast of Virginia, you know, for local residents in Hampton Roads, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. If the administration would get out of the way and let us leverage those resources that are there. The governor wants it. The General Assembly wants it. 2 U.S. senators, both Democrats, want it. I ran on it. The administration's holding us up.
All right. I love the energy story, totally. Anyway, many thanks, Congressman Scott Rigell. Appreciate it. Now let's begin our expert free market panel for this season.